Hello again. How are you? Hope you're very well. Right, now today's subject, well, we've had a question from one of our viewers. Are aliens real? Now, it's a big subject, isn't it, eh? And, I mean, I debated this with a lot of people. Now, the thing was, you see, well, it was a few weeks ago in the depot, and there I was with roadside, and we were settling down for the night, weren't we? And then suddenly, at the depot, well, this human being walked past. Well, it weren't a human being, because it was like he was sliding all over the place. And I was like, oh my God. And you should have seen him. He had these funny eyes, and I thought this long pink thing came out of his mouth. And I was like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like it, eh? And the way he was sort of morphing and changing as he walked across the depot, in front of the depot. And I said, wait, son, have a look at this, eh? And he said, shut up. And I was like, wait, son, you got to see it. But that one, he's half asleep, and he wouldn't know what time of day it was, would he? And then when I told him what it was, you see, he said I was losing my marbles. And I said, excuse me, losing my marbles? You're the one that's losing your marbles. You lost them a long time ago, like the Elgin marbles you did. But me, I got my marble, and I know what I saw, eh? And it was something of another world. And it was very peculiar. I mean, after I saw it, well, it just kept replaying over and over again in my head. And I thought, I don't know what to make of it, you see. And it was most disconcerting, eh? Most disconcerting. Well, you know, if you've seen one of those things that you can't explain, would it, then you just, well, no one believes you today, eh? They thought I was all... road sign said he thought I would start raving bonkers, and I was like, oh, you wouldn't even, you might as well just, well, I know what I saw, yeah, and if you ain't interested, well, then you can go. I'm not going to tell you, am I, eh? I'm not going to tell you from now on if I see, because the other thing was, you see, now that happened, and I couldn't explain it away, and then we were on the Whips Cross roundabout, weren't we, a week later? And it was a Tuesday evening, and, well, it was quite quiet, and I looked up into the sky, and then suddenly this giant purple thing came right in front of my face. I mean, you should say, well, it looked like it did. It went across the sky about 400 miles an hour. And it had pink spots on it, this purple thing. And I said, well, Sarge, you got... No, the thing was, I couldn't get my breath, and it had gone across the sky. And then what I remembered of it was that it had this stuff coming out the back of it, didn't it? It was like this trail, and you think to yourself, well, what's that doing to us? Because some people think that is controlling our minds, did it, eh? And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know what I saw. It was very fast. And of course, if you need to because once you've seen one of those things, you tell other people and they laugh at you, don't they, eh? But then if they saw one, eh? Well, then the last laugh would be on me, wouldn't it? And then you see, and so what I'm saying to you is, there are things out there that you can't explain, eh? And then when you try and talk to them, like I did with roadside, well, then they just laugh in your face, don't they? So, Mrs. Jones, what I was going to say to you was, the answer to your question is most definitely. I mean, it's irrefutable, isn't it, eh? And if you're on the road like roadside and I, on the M25, well, then you're going to see it all the time, aren't you? Because it's like you're out in the middle of nowhere. And then you just think, what was that, eh? And I'm telling you, this thing was, it was big and purple. It was. And I thought, and of course it had this spinning triangle around it. that looked like there was another dimension inside it, like a fourth dimension. And I'm sure I thought I could see into another galaxy when it went past. But of course, when it's 400 miles an hour, well, you don't know, do you? But anyway, I was all over the place after it, and I felt so unsettled. I did. I felt peculiar, and I weren't feeling myself after it, was I, And do you know what? In the back of the van, the lorry, I couldn't even talk, for days. And that's not like me, So so I don't know who to tell. I might tell the union, but I don't know even if they listen, And what would happen? Because suddenly, I mean, it was like Close Encounters the third kind, that one. I mean, for all I know, I might start making shapes like that bloke off it, see, or something. And then afterwards, you might be making shapes of cones or something. I don't know. And then because they get in your head, don't they? And right up inside you. So I was most disconcerted, It was very peculiar, And of course, road sign, where you won't see any of it, because half the time that one he's half asleep, isn't he? So I don't know. There's a lot of other things to explain, Mrs. Jones. Now, if you've got any other subjects that you need us to go in depth with on the channel, then do let us know, because obviously we cover these things in detail, like I've just done now, and we pull them apart and examine them, and then come to a conclusion. So the conclusion is, well, there is life on Mars, yeah. And it's a god-awful small affair, isn't it? So anyway, all right then, me lovelies. We did a quick one in the week. Do you like a quick one in the week? Well, we all do, didn't we? So anyway, and, well, yeah, so we're going to discuss aliens again, I hope. And how people who are in cars look like they're aliens, don't they? Shapeshifters, they call them, don't they? I mean, I always thought Roadside was a bit of shapeshifter, the way that one, he bunks off work so much, you can't find him half the time, innit, Right then, alright, well, I better be going, yeah, ta-ra, hope you have a nice week, and I'll see you soon, alright? And keep 'em peeled, yeah?